Okay. Yeah, so I'm changing the problem. So it's negative 2x squared minus 4x plus 6 equals 0. And it'll say hint, divide by negative 2 first. Yeah, so let's follow their hint. Let's divide through by negative 2. And when through means all the way through, right? We have to do the right side also, right? When you have an equal sign, whatever you do to one side, you have no choice but to do the same thing to the other. You got to keep the balance, don't you? So what happens? These cancel. We get x squared
Square minus 6
plus 2x, isn't it?
plus 4.
Because there's two negatives there.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Is that making sense?
Yeah. I was trying to add it.
So x squared plus 2x, and this will be minus 3 equals 0. Everybody see what happened there? So the two negatives made positive. 4 divided by 2 is 2, and two negatives made positive. Positive over negative made negative. Okay, now, how do we solve x squared equations? So that's where we're at. Solving x squared with an equal sign. What do we do? Step number 1, we get a 0. Well, we've already got that. Step number 2, you take out numbers and letters that are common. We don't have any of those, right? These three have nothing, and there's no number they all share, there's no letter they all share. So forget about that. Step 3, to factor x squared plus 2x minus 3 equals 0, you got to do the double parentheses, right? So whenever we get to that x squared stuff, it's the double parentheses. So let's do that. X was in the front. Okay. So now we're looking for what? Two numbers that multiply to be negative 3. Remember how this always works. You're multiplying to be the number at the back. You're adding to be the number in the middle. So what two numbers do you know that multiply to be 3? So what multiplies actually to be negative 3, huh? Well, it's going to be 1 times 3, but one of them is going to have to be negative. Which one? Remember how we talked about the sign in the middle always goes on the bigger one. So it's going to be plus 3 minus 1. Let me draw that a little better. It's going to be minus 1 plus 3. That'll add to be plus 2. And these guys multiply to be negative 3, don't they? That's my pair of numbers. Do you see how that works? I know that's the step that's hard for a lot of people. It takes some time. You just got to keep practicing this. So again, it's 1 and 3, positive 1, negative 3, multiplies to equal negative 3. And then if you add them, plus 1 added to negative 3, it'll add to be negative 2, which is perfect. Oh, wait, what am I doing? I did that backwards, didn't I? It should be plus, oh man, for all that, I blew that. What am I doing? Pay better attention here. Try that again. They add to be plus 2, so it's plus 3 and minus 1. Multiply to be negative 3. And plus 3 plus minus 1 adds to be plus 2. There we go. So it's plus 3 and minus 1. Those multiply to be negative 3, and they add to be plus 2. Whatever sign is in the middle always goes on the bigger. Let me write that for you. And I'll be saying that as much as I can. Sign in the middle goes to the bigger number every time, without exception. The sign in the middle goes to the bigger number. 3 is bigger than 1. The sign in the middle is plus. So the plus in the middle has to go to the bigger number every time. That'll make it work. Okay, and then you know step 4, right? Each part equals 0. Kind of running out of room here. Yeah, I'm just going to erase this. So step 4, each part with an x equals 0 and solve. So this part equals 0 or, and the reason for that is because those two things are multiplying. Remember the logic? I keep wanting to give you the reasons because the more you think about the reasons, the better you'll remember this on tests and things. These two things are multiplying. See the parentheses? They're multiplying to equal 0. What does that mean? How can you multiply two things and get an answer of 0? If the first one is 0 or if the second one is 0, right? So then that's why that's logical and reasonable. Let's finish it up. Subtract 3. We got to solve it now. That's gone. X is -3. Add 1. Boom. X is +1. So the two answers are -3 and +1. Doesn't say anything about what order. So I'll just put them in whatever order. -3 and +1. There we go.